This discovery will change the fate of humanity. Across the dusty fields and forgotten corners of our planet, archaeologists have uncovered fragments of our past that sometimes shatter everything we thought we knew. The discoveries you'll see below represent earth-shattering revelations that challenge conventional wisdom about our ancestors and their capabilities. Curious? Join us and let's go. Number 14. The genetic mystery of Paracas skulls. In the 1920s, archaeologist Julio Tello excavated hundreds of unusually elongated skulls from the Paracas region of Peru, dating to approximately 3,000 years ago. These skulls exhibit cranial volumes averaging 25% larger than modern human skulls, alongside anatomical features that don't align with known human morphology. While cranial modification, head binding, was practiced by many ancient cultures, the Paracas skulls show critical differences from artificially deformed skulls. Normal cranial deformation changes a skull's shape but cannot increase its volume. The Paracas specimens not only have substantially larger brain capacity, but also feature structural differences in the weight, thickness, and number of cranial plates. In 2014, initial DNA testing delivered shocking results. Geneticists analyzed samples from 5 skulls and discovered they contained genetic mutations unknown in any human, primate, or animal found on Earth. The mitochondrial DNA showed mutations that would typically take thousands of years to develop, mutations absent from any known human population. Number 13. The X-ray that changed Tutankhamun's story. The mystery of King Tut's premature death haunted archaeologists for decades until British researchers cracked the case with cutting-edge technology. That 1968 X-ray, later enhanced with computer imaging, revealed something nobody expected. The boy pharaoh was missing his sternum, with ribs oddly aligned along his spine. Everyone thought embalmers had removed these bones, but that wasn't the whole story. Fast forward to 2005 when Zahi Hawass, then head of the Egyptian High Council of Antiquities, ordered a comprehensive CT scan of the mummy. Though the images weren't publicly released, they unveiled extreme damage to Tut's ribcage alongside a clearly broken leg. The damage pattern wasn't random. It matched perfectly with high-impact trauma you'd get from a chariot accident, hippopotamus attack, or battlefield injury. This technological revelation rewrote history books overnight. Tutankhamun wasn't murdered in some palace conspiracy. He died from catastrophic injuries sustained in a violent accident. The Golden Boy, supposedly protected by divine right and royal guards, met his end through mundane trauma, proving even god-kings weren't immune to physical danger. Number 12. The Uluburun Shipwreck. Off the coast of Turkey near Uluburun, sponge divers in 1982 discovered one of archaeology's most important shipwrecks. Dating to approximately 1300 BCE, this Bronze Age vessel contained the most diverse cargo ever found from ancient times, with goods from at least 9 different cultures spanning Africa, Europe, and Asia. The ship carried 10 tons of copper ingots, 1 ton of tin ingots, the perfect ratio for creating bronze, a ton of cobalt blue glass ingots, logs of African blackwood, elephant and hippopotamus ivory, ostrich eggshells, amber from the Baltic Sea, gold from Egypt, and the world's earliest complete set of merchants' weights and measures. Most stunning was the discovery of Canaanite jewelry alongside Mycenaean pottery, Egyptian scarabs, and Mesopotamian cylinder seals, concrete evidence of international trade networks spanning 3 continents 3,400 years ago. This single shipwreck contained goods from what are now Israel, Egypt, Mesopotamia, Cyprus, Greece, Afghanistan, Turkey, Italy, and Baltic regions, proving global trade wasn't a modern invention, but existed millennia earlier. Number 11. The Lost Ark. The Ark of the Covenant. Gold-plated wood, designed by divine mandate to hold the 10 Commandments tablets, remains archaeology's most legendary missing artifact. Biblical accounts place its creation about a year after the Exodus from Egypt, following specifications supposedly handed down from God to Moses at Mount Sinai. This wasn't just a fancy box. Ancient texts describe it as radiating supernatural power, stopping river flows when priests carried it into the Jordan River, allowing Israelites to cross on dry land. Later installed in Solomon's Temple in Jerusalem, the Ark held both the intact second tablets and shattered fragments of the first. Some accounts claim it also contained a Torah scroll, though that's hotly debated among scholars. I have a question for you. First, I would like to say that it is possible to follow the greatest curiosities of our world every day. But to do so, you need to be subscribed to our channel. So, are you already subscribed? If not, take the opportunity to subscribe now. Also, take the opportunity to like the video, so YouTube will recommend more videos from our channel. So, leave your like right now. And now that you have done that, let's go. Number 10. Wadi al-Hitan. Beyond the verdant oasis of Fayoum in Egypt's western desert, lies a paleontological treasure trove known as Wadi al-Hitan, the Valley of the Whales. This remote site contains one of the world's richest concentrations of Eocene period cetacean fossils, dating back approximately 34 to 56 million years. These aren't just any whale fossils, they're evolutionary missing links, complete with hind limbs, revealing the astonishing transition of whales from land to sea. Despite their massive 18-meter length, these proto-whales possessed short, functional legs, physical evidence of their evolutionary journey from terrestrial to aquatic mammals. The site's exceptional preservation state earned it UNESCO World Heritage status, yet for decades, these revolutionary fossils remained virtually untouched. The area's remote location, difficult terrain, and local superstitions about it being cursed kept both researchers and looters at bay until the 1980s. When paleontologists finally reached Wadi al-Hitan, they discovered a researcher's paradise, abundant fossils in an undisturbed environment with terrain that naturally preserved bones and facilitated excavation. Number 9. Aztec Temple. Revealed by nature's fury. An unexpected earthquake in Mexico in September 2017 cracked open more than just the earth. It revealed an ancient secret hiding in plain sight, the tremors that violently shook the region around. Cuernavaca exposed a previously unknown 12th century Aztec substructure beneath the Teopanzolco Pyramid. Archaeologists were stunned when they found stucco-covered walls, a sidewalk, and plaster remains dating back to 1150–1200 AD, completely upending previous understandings of the site's chronology. This accidental discovery transformed archaeological understanding of Mesoamerican architectural influence. Far from the assumption that the Mexica people originated this architectural style, evidence now suggests they actually drew inspiration from the Luica civilization's construction techniques. Number 8. King Tutankhamun's mysterious death. The premature death of young pharaoh Tutankhamun has puzzled experts since Howard Carter discovered his tomb in Egypt's Valley of the Kings in 1922. For an ancient Egyptian ruler, presumably well-nourished and heavily protected, to die as a teenager raised immediate suspicions. His death marked a critical transition point, beginning the end of Egypt's powerful 18th dynasty and altering the course of ancient history. Theories about Tut's demise have ranged from murder conspiracies to congenital disorders, with speculation continuing for a century after his tomb's discovery. The murder hypothesis gained particular traction. Was the boy king assassinated for his crown? This possibility captured public imagination and fueled countless documentaries, books, and exhibitions. British researchers working with X-rays taken in 1968 appear to have cracked this ancient cold case. Advanced imaging techniques revealed evidence of a specific pattern of injuries consistent with a chariot accident. Severe damage to the rib, cage, pelvis, and legs suggests Tutankhamun sustained catastrophic trauma from a high-speed collision. Number 7. Sanxingdui, the civilization that never existed. In 1987, archaeologists in Sichuan, China, unearthed something impossible, an entire advanced civilization that left no trace in Chinese historical memory, mythology, or cultural record. The Sanxingdui culture, dating to the 11th and 12th centuries BCE, produced bronze artifacts of unprecedented sophistication depicting figures with strange elongated faces, enormous protruding eyes, and elaborate headdresses unlike anything in known Chinese artistic traditions. The discovery began by accident in 1927 when a farmer dredging an irrigation ditch found jade relics that eventually reached private collectors. But the 1986 excavation revealed something far more significant: sacrificial pits containing thousands of gold, bronze, jade, and ceramic objects ritually broken, burned, and carefully buried. The artistic style bore no relationship whatsoever to Yellow River civilization artifacts that formed the foundation of Chinese cultural history. Most puzzling is how this highly advanced Bronze Age culture rose and fell without leaving any imprint on Chinese historical consciousness. Their technical mastery of metallurgy included creating some of the world's largest bronze artifacts of their era, including a 4-meter bronze tree and masks with gold foil inlays weighing up to 180 pounds. Number 6. Noah's Ark. The biblical flood story has driven some of history's most obsessive archaeological searches. According to Genesis chapters 6-9, God observed humanity's growing wickedness and decided to destroy that generation through a catastrophic flood. Only Noah, described as righteous and upright, received warning to build a massive boat to save his family and representative animal pairs. Biblical accounts don't specify how long Noah spent building the ark. Some interpret the mentioned 120 years as construction time, while others view it as a reduction in human lifespan. The resulting vessel's dimensions would have made it one of the ancient world's largest wooden structures, comparable to modern cruise ships. For decades, adventurers and religious devotees have scoured Mount Ararat in Turkey and surrounding regions searching for physical evidence of this legendary vessel. Number 5. The Rohank Manuscript. Stored in the Hungarian Academy of Sciences, the Rohank manuscript contains 448 pages filled with approximately 10,000 unique symbols that form a completely unknown writing system. Discovered in the 1830s in Hungary, the book is packed with more than 80 religious illustrations showing Christian, Islamic, and pagan symbols mixed in ways that contradict any known tradition. Each page contains between 9 and 14 lines of text, written from right to left, with symbols that don't match any known alphabet. Linguists confirm that the text follows consistent patterns suggesting a real language instead of random symbols. Computer analyses reveal coherent grammatical structures and character distribution statistics similar to natural languages. The manuscript has gone through all modern decipherment methods, statistical analyses, pattern recognition algorithms, and even attempts to compare it with all documented dead languages. The illustrations seem to tell a coherent story, possibly related to the lives of saints or prophets, but combining religious elements that historically never coexisted in a single text. Number 4. City of Helic. On a winter night in 373 BC, a prosperous Greek city called Helic completely disappeared within hours. Historical accounts describe a major earthquake followed by a tsunami that swallowed the entire city and its 10,000 inhabitants. For 2,000 years, Helike was considered just a legend, until archaeologists found its ruins in 2001, buried under sediments and partially submerged near the coast of the Gulf of Corinth. Historians now believe this catastrophe was the main inspiration for the Atlantis myth described by Plato. Excavations revealed intact streets, building foundations, coins, pottery, and even skeletons in positions suggesting sudden death. The most impressive aspect is how the destruction preserved the city in a single moment of time. Meals still on tables, tools dropped in the middle of work. The disappearance of Helike was so famous in the ancient world that Roman travelers paid to be taken by boat over the site where they believed the submerged city was located. Accounts mention that on days with clear water, statues covered by marine sediments could still be seen at the bottom. Number 3. The controversial Ica stones. Back in the 1960s, a Peruvian doctor named Javier Cabrera got his hands on something wild. Thousands of andesite stones covered with engravings that basically break history in half. These Ica stones show humans hunting dinosaurs, performing complex surgeries, and using telescopes. Yeah, you read that right. Activities that supposedly happened millions of years apart. The craziest part, some of these stones show detailed, Anatomical drawings of dinosaurs with specific skin patterns that scientists only confirmed through fossil evidence in the late 1990s. How could anyone carve accurate dinosaur skin textures decades before paleontologists discovered them? Scientific. Testing gets weird too. Many stones have a natural patina in the grooves indicating significant age, while others appear more recent. When researchers analyzed trace elements in the patination, they found composition patterns matching ancient stone artifacts from the area, not something easily faked. The Peruvian government initially dismissed them as modern forgeries, but local farmers keep discovering more stones buried in ancient tombs untouched for centuries. The official stance has gradually shifted to inconclusive rather than debunked. Number 2. The Hobbits of Flores Island. In 2003, archaeologists digging in a cave on Indonesia's Flores Island stumbled upon something straight out of fantasy: skeletons of fully adult humans standing just 3.5 feet tall with brains the size of grapefruits. These weren't children or people with growth disorders. These were an entirely unknown species of human that scientists named Homo floresiensis. The wildest part, these hobbits weren't from the distant past. They lived alongside modern humans. Until just 50,000 years ago, wielding sophisticated stone tools and hunting dwarf elephants. They survived on this isolated island for over 700,000 years. Completely unknown to science until recently. Their anatomy breaks all the rules. Their feet are too long for their legs, their wrists twist in impossible ways, and their brain-to-body ratio defies everything we know about human evolution. Most shocking is that they had complex culture with small brains, challenging the fundamental assumption that brain size dictates cognitive ability. Local legends on Flores describe the Ebu Gogo, small, hairy people who eat everything and could murmur to each other, with stories claiming they existed until the arrival of Dutch traders in the 19th century. These myths match the archaeological evidence remarkably well. DNA analysis has been difficult since tropical climates degrade genetic material, but new extraction techniques are getting closer to determining exactly how these tiny humans fit into our family tree, potentially rewriting what we know about human evolution and migration patterns. Number 1. The Stone Age Metropolis. Everyone thinks civilization began in Mesopotamia around 4000 BCE, right? Then explain Çatalhöyük, a massive urban settlement in Turkey that housed 10,000 people in a complex society with art, religion, and advanced architecture. Starting in 7500 BCE. That's 3,500 years earlier than what your history books taught you. Excavations reveal a mind-blowing urban design where people entered their homes through holes in the roof and traveled across the city via rooftop pathways. There were no streets. The densely packed buildings shared walls, creating what looks like the world's first apartment complex. What's crazier, they buried their dead under their living room floors, often decorating rooms with actual human skulls, ancestors literally watching over them. The archaeological evidence shows they had figured out stuff we didn't think happened until thousands of years later. They wove fabrics, created sophisticated pottery, and traded obsidian across huge distances. Their elaborate art shows the earliest known representations of landscapes rather than just people and animals. What really makes archaeologists lose sleep is discovering that this massive, sophisticated settlement had no obvious hierarchy. No palaces, no enormous temples, no signs of kings or rulers. This flips our understanding of how complex societies develop, suggesting humans created large, organized urban centers without the need for centralized authority, wealth inequality, or social stratification. Now I have a special recommendation for you. Are you seeing this video that is appearing on the screen? Click on it, because I'm sure you'll like it. Well, that's it, and until next time, Curious One.